The Christians are beefing amongst each other. Yeah, that's right. You heard it from me. And it's basically the Protestants versus the Orthodox Christian. And it's just crazy because all this stemmed from a post from a Muslim. Now, what this is telling me is that the enemy is upset because there's a trending thing going on with Christian apologetics on social media. A lot of Christians are growing and there's false doctrines being debunked. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like button so this video can go out into the algorithm to people just like you and it can help this channel grow. So yeah, man, let's take it to the live scene. Let's take it to the live scene. So we got David Woods on the left and Andrew Wilson on the right, if I ain't mistaken. I don't really watch them like that. Or so yeah, it's David Woods on the left, yeah. So David Wood is God Logic friend. God Logic is a Christian who is someone who defend the faith and debate Muslims and Jehovah Witnesses and all. And he's growing. He's growing. Like he is absolutely growing. His content is getting pushed out there, and he is winning these debates. And I'm gonna give y'all a little background story before we get started because he explains it in this, but it was too long, so I just want to kind of get in the meat of things. But anyway, so God Logic had been debating a lot of Muslims, big time Muslim with a million subscribers on YouTube, one beat many others like Orthodox Muslim, um Junior, I think that's his name, Junior, Muhammad Hijab, and a couple other people, Cora, and he just beat them. He just beat them, right? And before God Logic debated one of the biggest Muslim content creators out there, there was a guy by the name of Elijah Johnson who who is apologetic and or apologist, whatever you call it, and he basically he only had like at this time I think he only had like 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. He get out there and debate Orthodox Muslim who have like 90,000 subscribers on YouTube. Absolutely beat him, and he posted a video, and Orthodox Muslim got mad and sent a copyright strike on it and got the video taken down. It was only down for about 2 weeks, and then after that, it was back up. And I think his video basically surpassed Orthodox Muslim in the views now. And also on top of that, his channel started to grow. Now he's at 15,000 within a month. Um, and then after that, you had God Logic come in and debate Muhammad Hijab, who is got like a million subscribers, a Muslim. Absolutely beat him. And he asked him before they even started, like, is it okay that I, put this on my channel? He was like, yeah, I don't have no problem. He tried to manipulate him. Now, if y'all haven't seen my video on that, y'all should watch it. It breaks down everything. But anyway, he sent a copyright strike on him anyway, so he lied about that. And they're doing this because they don't want people to know the truth. They don't want people to see that them losing. They don't want to see Muslim getting debunked. They don't want to see Islam is false. And so now D2 are both Christians and they're beefing over a simple tweet that just got out of hand. So let's just watch this. They're going to be debating, but he's going to kind of give a little breakdown. I bumped it up a little bit. So yeah.
Is God Logic. He'll have 5 or 6 thousand people watching him live call-in shows with Muslims, and they're really panicking over God Logic. You saw it. Their Dawah champ Muhammad Hijab Avery went on there with him, completely crushed him. They had to like give out false copyright strikes and stuff like that for complete nonsense and so on. But basically, they're in complete panic mode, and we would like to keep it that way and actually make it get worse and worse and accelerate the avalanche of apostasy. But as we're going along, going out there, going up to Dawa booths and so on, you know the critics are going to come and try to derail things. And I just don't mean Muslims. I mean all kinds of people start seeing what's going on, and they decide that this would be a good thing to derail. And so people are attacking Avery. People are attacking Avery. And let me go a little back because
Now, Avery, that's God Logic real name, and this is a tweet from the Orthodox Muslim.
so this is Orthodox Muslim, Orthodox Muslim. So this is Libiano, and he's a guy who, on other issues, like his friend is the one who punched Chris in the face in London, and then they'll all say, "Oh, we don't condone violence," but he clearly does. He tells Christians that if they, approach him like that, they'll be consciously edited out of existence. So that's just threatening people with terms that would not be normal. So you can have some plausible deniability. But on other issues, here's the Orthodox Muslim with Muhammad Hijab on posting a video on God Logic's wife, Christina, Lady Logic, being a whore, and then making a video and cackling hilariously at that. And then, of course, after this, we've got Jay Dyer. Now, I wasn't paying attention to the back and forth because I really don't care. If people want to, if Protestants and Eastern Orthodox and Catholics want to argue about the things, that's totally fine with me. But first, they were saying that Avery basically raided Life's live stream, and then Life raided, I think, JP's live stream where he was debating Eastern Orthodoxy or something like this. So the online Orthobro community went after Avery for that, as if he's going after Eastern Orthodoxy. And oddly enough, later on, they concluded no. Basically, the story changed, that Avery is a grifter because he doesn't attack Christians with different beliefs and so on. So this proves that he's a grifter. But we have it here from the Orthodox Muslim. Again, this is the guy who calls Avery's wife a whore and so on. My 2 cents on what's going on with the Orthobros and Avery. Avery is not interested in your true church, as a matter of fact. He doesn't give a flying donkey's ass about any church being true. He wants to appeal to as many Christians from all denominations to make as much money as possible. This is why he's friends with Sam, yet friends with Sam's arch enemy, David Wood. He's friends with the Orthobros, but also friends with anti-Orthobros. This guy is a grifter. Wake up. And so you could, if you know Avery, he just doesn't like to get involved with the disputes and so on. But for Orthodox Muslim, this actually proves that he's a grifter. And then you have the response from Jay Dyer. Jay says, bingo. So he agrees.
This is crazy. This guy put this up. Put up something for people to grab, and people are actually grabbing onto it. Like, if you're a Christian, you should use discernment to know what is going on, but yet he throws in his 2 cents and say bingo. A Christian say that.
With this doesn't mean he's agreeing with anything else Orthodox Muslim says, but he's agreeing that Avery is a grifter who doesn't spend his time attacking other Christians because he wants to make as much money as possible. So it's not because he doesn't want to get involved in the inter-Christian debates. It's not because he wants to focus on Islam or cults or anything. It's because he is a grifter. You got that from Jay Dyer. So I responded, and you have my response kind of in the middle there. I said, Muslims and Orthobros, tell me how insanely jealous you are of God Logic without telling me how insanely jealous you are of God Logic. And Jay replied, leftist tactics again. If I say he said something correct, then I must be in league with them, lol. If I criticize someone, it's only because I'm jealous. None of you have any actual theological arguments about the true church because you war against it. You're an evangelical, lol.
Right. Yeah. This is wild. This is wild. I understand why David Wood said something. I mean, he's friends with God Logic. You're not gonna talk bad about my friend on social media. I'm gonna take up for you. And it just get worse, y'all. It get worse.
And by the way, the reason I said they're insanely jealous is because they both commented on Avery's motives, right? They said, aha, he's doing this because he's a grifter. And I said, okay, so we're going to just insert people's motives here. And I said, okay, so it's because you're jealous. And then, of course, he doesn't like when someone's doing it to him. So that's Jay's response. But interestingly, the Muslims involved in the whole situation are really rooting for Jay here. So Dr. Malik says, it's about time Jay Dyer said this about Logic, the grifting from him, and then Act 17 David trying to play the race card. Pathetic. So they're saying Jay is right. And by the way, Malik here, Malik is the guy who doxed my wife earlier this year, put her phone number on Twitter, her home address on Twitter, on TikTok, and was calling on Muslims to go and deal with this problem. So he's doxed me and my family. He's doxed Avery and Christina. He calls Christina a whore as well. IP. He tried to get.
My thing is with this too is I don't know if Jay Dyer's a Orthodox Muslim. I mean, Christian Eastern Orthodox, whatever. But if he is, like, this don't look good, bro. This don't look good on in y'all sect. You're misrepresenting the Eastern Orthodox. You're misrepresenting them a lot. Him and Andrew are misrepresenting them a lot. It's just, yeah, that's wild.
The church attack that they spoke at most recently. He showed up at the church, gave the address, and said that inside are Inspiring Philosophy and God Logic, who both rip the Quran. Rip the Quran. Now, they don't. It's a lie. But he was clearly trying to get Muslims to go and attack them. But they're definitely rooting for Jay and so on. But they're also rooting for Andrew here. So, same guy, Dr. Malik, the doxer. Hey, Andrew, I'm the Muslim Diddy Wood is going to use to try to burden shift off the fact he doesn't know his religion and sits with a Zio syndicate. Truth is, this rapist has been ripping Qurans for too long, and we done baked him up, and we expect you to finish the job tomorrow. So, Muslim Dawa guys are rooting for you to finish off what they started. And then you got Sam jumping in here. Sam normally hates Jay, but now that Jay is coming after us, suddenly likes him. He says, damn, Jay is on fire, exposing the self-confessed sociopath and rapist who still needs to go to jail for his crime, since claiming to have become a Christian doesn't absolve him of legal responsibilities. That's Sam. And we have Daniel Hakikachu. I agree with Jay Dyer. God Logic is a grifter. In my debate with him, I asked Avery if he accepts biblical inerrancy. He refused to answer, even though the entire debate was about biblical.
That Sam Shimon. I think so. Bro, this is getting crazy.
Preservation, and it's actually wasn't. It was on the Islamic dilemma. He tried to change the subject to inerrancy of the Bible instead of the Islamic dilemma. Avery didn't let him, and so now this is further evidence that Avery is just a grifter. He likes sticking to the debate topic. And finally, we have Andrew Wilson saying, I am a Jay Dyer fan, and I will debate you on these issues you have with him. I believe you mischaracterized and unjustly criticize him. I said the issue I have with him is that he's siding with Dawa Gandhists who are lying about God Logic because he's destroying Dawa. So you agree to the topic, should Orthodox Christians support the lies of Dawa Gandhists who promote violence against Christians and threaten to rape women? I accept. We can debate this on my channel. Pick a day. And Andrew said, okay, let's do tomorrow. I'll even take the BS prompt just to watch you evade the actual topic when I bring it up. So that's the back.
Just adamant that I would be the one who shifted the burden, yet it's you, Christian baby. Right?
I would
Right?
one thing if you are actually being cheered on by the Dawa Gandhists as they attack him because they want him out of the way and they want to discredit him, and you actually help them. then I think you got a problem and you need to correct it. But the Orthobros don't think there's any problem here. All right.
You all good?
Yep.
Okay. So I don't know about any of this shit because I was asked to come on and debate a specific prompt. That prompt
Bro is on there cussing like yeah,
prompt
cussing, smoking a cigarette on show. Like, what are we doing here?
specifically has nothing to do with any of this. Nothing. The prompt is, should Orthodox Christians support the lies of Dowinists who promote violence against Christians and threaten to rape women? That is the prompt we agreed to, correct?
Yep.
Okay, great. And you're affirming that they should not, obviously, right?
I would say they should not.
Okay, great. So my position on this, since you're trying to burden shift to Jay Dyer or something, which is strange because your audience was just adamant that I would be the one who shifted the burden, yet it's you. I would say sometimes they should. And I brought 3 logical examples for the 3 times that sometimes they should. The first is a legislative example. Dearborn, Michigan's new representative, let's
I'm gonna pause right there 'cause I gotta unlock the door. I forgot about that. Oh.
say Muhammad Oman, husband, brother, cousin to Ilhan Omar, has threatened to physically assault and grape Arizona's Orthodox Christian woman, Christina, who has also said he secretly loves Planned Parenthood because it kills the white Christian babies. Though his supporters don't like this, in an attempt to garner more support, he proposes the No More Abortion Bill, which unsurprisingly bans abortions nationally. This will only be able to pass due to him getting support from his wife and her getting the rest of the squad to flip, causing it to barely pass the House and likely go through the Senate. Should she support this bill and his lies to ban abortion as an Orthodox Christian, knowing that he is a Darwinist who threatened to grape women and wants violence on Christians? Or should she go against this lie and allow millions of unborn babies to die? There's a moral conundrum, David. Should the Orthodox Christian in this scenario support that Darwinist and his lies or not? I'm just curious. Can you give me the answer, please?
Oh, you want me to talk?
Yeah, I'd like to get to the debate.
Are we going back and forth?
Yeah.
Okay, so so you're saying sometimes Orthodox Christians should support the lies of Dawagandists who are lying about people.
Yeah, do you want me to repeat the hypothetical? I'll repeat it for you.
Yeah, give me
Okay. Yeah, Dearborn, Michigan's new representative, Muhammad Oman, husband, brother, cousin to Ilhan Omar, has threatened to physically assault and grape Arizona's Orthodox Christian woman, Christina. He also has said that he secretly loves Planned Parenthood because it kills white Christian babies. Though his supporters don't like this, in an attempt to garner more support, he proposes the No More Abortion Bill, which unsurprisingly bans abortions nationally. This will only be able to pass due to him getting support from his wife and her getting the rest of the squad to flip, causing it to barely pass the House and likely go through the Senate. Should she support this bill and his lie to ban abortion as an Orthodox Christian, knowing that he is a Darwinist rapist who threatens to grape women and wants violence on Christians? Or should she go against this lie and allow millions of unborn babies to be murdered?
Like, you serious, dude?
Yeah, I'm serious. Can you answer my question?
Right? Are you serious? What kind of question was that? This is this is like a whole setup question, bro. You know, obviously he don't believe in abortion. And you know, obviously he's not gonna side with the Muslims. You just you basically saying pick and choose one. Like what? Knowing that he's lying. Like bro, that is crazy. That is the most stupidest question I've ever heard. Are you serious?
Question, please.
Just to clarify, if the topic was should you torture babies for fun, your answer to that would be sometimes, because I could come up with a situation where torturing
But
babies
that's
for
not the
fun.
topic, David. This is
But
the
you would
topic.
argue that, right?
Yeah, but this is not the top. This is
So
the
you would argue
topic
you would
that
argue that
you and
if
I
I
agreed to. Can you
yeah I know
answer the question?
yeah I know but I'm saying
Can
just
you
as
can you
far as
answer the question?
I'm saying as far as methodology and so on, if the
Can you
topic
answer the
were
question?
if the topic were
Yeah, can you answer the
should
question?
Orthodox Muslims torture babies for
Great. Can you
fun,
answer the
your
question?
response would be sometimes, because I
Okay,
can come up with a
great. That's great.
situation where
That's
it would
great.
save other people, right?
Can you answer the question?
Um,
Right? Like that is a stupid question, dude. So stupid. And he said sometimes. This sounds like bro, that is very leftist. They want to talk about leftist? That is yeah. That is very leftist right there. Cuz he's basically saying abortion is okay in this instant. Like
but let me go ahead and grant it to you. So there you go.
Oh, yes.
You happy now?
Yes.
So your answer is sometimes, right? Now let's try to figure out. Let's try.
mind you, the reason why he's saying that cuz he's trying to play like, "Oh, I don't support Dawa. I don't support any of their rules regardless of what it is." It is such a messed up question. Such a messed up question.
Try to figure out the
Okay,
extent
hang on.
of how
Stop, stop,
frequently.
stop. Is the answer yes?
Um, yeah, I can't say.
You can't say. You're not sure. You're not sure what Orthodox should do in that situation, Dave. You're real confused about it, are you?
I'm saying because I'd probably if I wanted legal change, I'd probably go in a different route than going in that direction. That would be pretty darn creepy.
Okay, that's great. Should they go ahead and support the law if it bans abortion or not, Dave?
You should support a law. That doesn't mean you need to support the lies.
Yeah, but you have to.
He answered that. That's a good answer. But he's trying to force him to say something else. That's what he's trying to do. He's just trying to force him to say something else. He's trying to flip the table. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to flip the table on him.
To support the lie. She's the deciding vote here. If she doesn't support the lie, this abortion bill doesn't get banned.
I'd say go about it in a different way, man.
What is that? What? There is no other way. It's baked into
You're
the
coming up
hypothetical.
with an insane. I mean, this is just ridiculous. You could do this with any topic,
How is it
Andrew.
ridiculous?
You could do this with any
Okay, you're
topic.
right. Hang on. Let me try it with a different topic.
Okay, here we
He's basically trying to say it's okay to line up with Dawa. That's what he's trying to say. He's trying to make an excuse for his actions earlier.
go.
Should Orthodox Christians support the lies of these Darwinist rapists? So let's try it this way. If a Darwinist rapist says David Wood raped a 15-year-old up the ass, if they said that, let's just say, in this hypothetical.
You see that? Very personal attack. This is a very personal attack because of David Wood SA pass. His pass with SA. It's a personal attack. He think he's been slick. Like, bro, if this ain't screaming like a false Christian. I don't know what is, and I'm not saying Eastern Orthodox Christians are false Christians, but this guy is most definitely is not a great representative for the Eastern Orthodox. He's just not. Just y'all just that is crazy. That is jacked up. That's not being Christian at all. He's on the show smoking cigarettes, cussing, putting out personal attack. Bro, you sound just like a Muslim.
And that is morally wrong. And I don't believe the Darwinists because they're a bunch of child kid diddlers themselves. Should I still affirm that statement as being true, even though I know they don't really believe it?
You're asking if you should affirm something, asking if they,
Never trust a guy that keep lighting his cigarette.
you should affirm what they're saying, even if you don't believe what they're saying.
Yeah, even though I know it's a lie that they don't really believe that there's anything morally bad with some guy in this situation raping a 15-year-old girl up the butt. Even though they claim, hey, man, I think that's really bad. And like, let's say they try to pass legislation or something to ban that. And I know that these guys are lying. They think it's good. Should I go ahead and affirm the lie to get the legislation passed that they should that these men who rape 15-year-old girls up the butt should no longer be able to do that?
I don't think you need to be affirming lies to make legislation again. Um,
That's not my question. I didn't ask you if you should be affirming lies in order to get legislation to move. I asked in this specific case, David, would it be the case that if there was a 15-year-old who was raped by a man up the butt and Muslims were trying to pass a law to outlaw that, even though I don't believe that Muslims think that's a moral wrong and they're lying about that, shouldn't I go ahead and affirm that lie anyway because it gets me what I want?
you can you can affirm you want the legislation. You don't need to affirm any lies or support lies, man.
What do you
part, that part, and he's not understanding it. He's still trying to get him to say like, "Oh wow, I'm just yeah."
mean? I'm affirming. I know that they're lying. I know for sure they're lying because Muslims don't care about that. They rape children all the time. So the question just becomes, since I know they're lying, shouldn't I go ahead and affirm that lie, David?
I don't think you need to affirm lies, man.
Can you answer my question? So the answer is no.
No, go about it in some other way.
Okay, so the answer is if it was the case that Muslim Darwinist rapists wanted to propose a law which outlawed men raping 15-year-old girls up the butt, that in fact I should oppose that
No,
because I know they're lying.
You could support the legislation. What are you even talking about? You're saying they're misrepresenting what they actually believe. You don't need to support. You don't need to support lies for that.
Yeah, but I'm affirming it. So I'm affirming this as though it's a belief, right?
You can affirm that you can affirm this statement
Yeah.
without.
You're affirming the lie then. See how that works? You would
No,
be
you can
affirming
affirm
the lie.
you can affirm the statement even if someone. I mean, if someone
Do you
thinks that
believe that Muslims
if someone thinks the sky is green and but they lie and say it's blue, you can affirm the sky is blue. It doesn't mean you have to um, support their lies.
what
it's
if
kind
it
of a
was
different way
the
of going about
case?
it.
What if it was the case that
Why don't you come up with an actual situation where someone
Yeah,
is
I
actually
need
lying
the
about
Muslim.
Christians and so on?
I need the Muslim legislature here. Okay, I need the Muslim legislature, and they're posturing that they're completely and totally against, uh, you know, uh, children getting raped up the butt who are 15 years old. They're against it. The whole legislature comes out and says it. I don't believe them. I know they're lying because I know their religious dictates. But if I go out and say these guys are a bunch of liars based on their religious dictates, that could cost us our legislative authority to be able to pass said bill, David. Don't you think that I should go ahead and just affirm that false belief, even though I know it's a false belief of theirs, in order to get that passed?
You're not affirming a lie though. You're affirming the truth, and you're just saying they're
You're
wrong about
affirming
it.
a lie.
Ooh, he's affirming the truth. He's focused on the truth and not the lie, not what they think, but the truth. Kind of like as a, for instance, Donald Trump. we know that he probably lying, but we want to pick the one who's have more Christian like standards. So we voted like people voted for Donald Trump. A lot of Christians did. There's some Christians who probably believe that he's lying about being a Christian and stuff, but if they had to choose, they would pick him based off the standard, you know, he's against abortion and all that. So they only voting for the the right the the laws and stuff and things that they think will be set in place. Just the same thing. They're not saying like, oh, I affirm with um Donald Trump thinking when it come down to Christianity or affirm with his lies, but they affirm with what what is what is they're affirming with the laws that's going to be taken in place, right? So like because you got congressmen and all that, you got all of that, and just hope that's what he's going to do. Same thing.
I know they're lying.
No,
I
they would.
know it.
They'd be You would be affirming the truth of the statement. My goodness, and people wonder why they don't like the
What do you
orthobros,
mean?
man.
I'm curious. What do you
Did he just say something about the president? I think he did.
mean affirming the truth of which statement? I know they're
If
lying.
someone says something is true, even
Yeah.
if they think it's false, you can still
Yeah.
affirm the truth of what they're saying.
Well, but they're saying
They're
something
saying
which
something
I
true.
know is untrue.
No, you're talking about their motivations.
Yeah,
You're
ones
affirming
that
a
aren't
you're affirming
true.
you're affirming a true statement.
Good Lord, these non-orthodox bros, I thought they were good at logic. If I'm affirming a statement they think is untrue, David, and I
What are you
know that
affirming?
they think it's
You're
untrue,
you're
then
affirming
I'm
the untruth.
affirming a
Are you
lie.
affirming the untruth of it?
Oh no, from my view, it's completely true that you
Okay,
should
so
indeed
you're
pass this
affirming the truth.
legislation.
You're affirming
But
the
I know
truth.
that I know that the Muslims don't believe that. I know that. And instead of calling them out on it, David, I would still go ahead and affirm it, even though I know they don't believe it, in order to get them to pass said
You do you,
legislation.
man. You do you.
This is
I would
really
just
weird.
I would just affirm the truth of the statement and not have to agree with the lie.
Yeah, but you are indeed granting then that by affirming a thing you know that they're lying about, that this indeed goes right into the core of this issue, which is should Orthodox Christians support the lies of Dowinists who promote violence against Christians and threaten to rape women? I would assume in this scenario, some of these Dowinists would definitely have been doing that. So you are affirming the truth. That's true, but you know that they're lying, David. So you're affirming their lie, right?
I don't have to affirm their lies, man.
Oh, I don't understand. Would you go ahead and help them pass said legislation?
If someone says 2 plus 2 is 4 and they think 2 plus 2 is 5, and I know they don't
So they're
really
lying.
believe, I don't really believe that 2 plus 2 is 4, I can say, yes, 2 plus 2 is 4. That's not me
Yes,
affirming the
that's correct.
lie. That's me affirming the
That's
truth.
Well, wait, David, that's true. You could indeed say, I agree with you, guy who's lying that 2 plus 2 is 4 and affirm their lie. That's true. You could do that. You could indeed. You could say, guy who I know is lying, I'm going to go ahead and affirm this lie. I agree with you. You could do that.
Yeah, just affirm the truth of the statement.
Well,
right,
but
what's
you
your next
know
one?
that their statement is false, though, David.
I would know that they didn't believe it. I would not be affirming that. I wouldn't be affirming any lie. I'd be affirming the truth of the statement. What is this, dude?
No, you would be
Right.
you would be
What
agreeing
is
with
this?
them
I don't
knowing
have
that
to-
they're lying. which is exactly what this prompt says. Should Orthodox Christians support the lies of these people who promote? So you would be supporting a lie.
I'm not
of
supporting
these
a lie.
people. How would you
I'm
not
supporting
be?
the
You know
truth.
they're lying. But you know
Man,
they're lying.
I apologize to everyone who thought we were actually going to deal with
I apologize
these
too.
issues.
This is a real debate. I'm sorry. Did you just give me a bait prompt because you actually wanted to talk about Jay Dyer and then do burden shifting? That's fine. If you want to talk about Jay Dyer, we can talk about Jay Dyer. Just say, Andrew, I actually gave you a bullshit prompt, and I would prefer to talk about Jay Dyer. You can do that. You know what? I'll talk about Jay Dyer with you.
No, because you're not really. I mean, answering sometimes.
Like, what am I not answering?
If you're answering the prompt as sometimes in ridiculously insane situations, so you're not.
And
what
what's
is
logically inconsistent?
Are you the affirmative? You're saying yes.
No, I'm saying sometimes. So can you tell me? I'm sorry. What did I say? Which was a contradiction or logically unsound? Anything?
That is crazy. It is just very insane, y'all. Like, these are insane questions. No, I had to do this yesterday because I got my son in this room. I'm trying to record this. My wife been showing up like after her events at work, and it takes a little longer, so I gotta open the door for her. Hold on.
Nothing.
Yeah, just the idea that if someone is wrong about something and you agree with the truth, you are somehow affirming their lie.
If you know it's a lie, how would you not be? I don't get that.
You can affirm the truth of the statement regardless of their intentions.
But you do know that they're lying.
You can know someone is lying, and even though they're lying, they're actually stating what is true, and you can agree with the truth of their statement. You don't have to affirm a lie.
I see. So if it's the case, then let's say a woman gets splashed with acid on her face, and her Darwinist brother gets driven there by an Orthodox priest. And on the way, he tells the priest the entire way, man, oh man, she's hideous and no man's ever going to want her. When he gets to the hospital room, he is moved by his sister's plight and says, sweetheart, you're still beautiful. Should the Orthodox priest go ahead and affirm that lie? What do you think, David? Should he be like, you know what? He's right, honey. You really are beautiful. What do you think? Or do you think he should like reject that and be like, nah, look, you're an ugly bitch. Like, which thing do you think he should do, David?
What? My camera just froze on this. My camera just froze on this. That is crazy. That is crazy. That is. My camera froze on that. Y'all just saw my face. That is insane. For him to say that, bro, my camera had to freeze on that. That is crazy. This man just, did he really just say the B word? See, this is why. And honestly, after that, I don't really care to watch the rest of this. This was a 4-hour debate, y'all. I don't see how he even stood, like, even talked to him that long. There's no way. There's no way. If your discernment do not go off when it comes down to this, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, I gotta go back. I gotta go back. If y'all are sensitive in the ear, if y'all are sensitive in the ears on stuff, you don't have to watch this part.
That lying is acceptable. Even though they're lying, they're actually stating what is true, and you can agree with the truth of their statement. You don't have to affirm a lie.
I see. So if
Watch
it's the
this.
case, then let's say a woman gets splashed with acid on her face, and her Darwinist brother gets driven there by an Orthodox priest. And on the way, he tells the priest the entire way, man, oh man, she's hideous and no man's ever going to want her. When he gets to the hospital room, he is moved by his sister's plight and says, sweetheart, you're still beautiful. Should the Orthodox priest go ahead and affirm that lie? What do you think, David? Should he be like, you know what? He's right, honey. You really are beautiful. What do you think? Or do you think he should like reject that and be like, nah, look, you're an ugly bitch? Like, which thing do you think he should do, David?
That
Um,
that is crazy. That is crazy. To be using foul language like that and calling yourself a Orthodox Christian is insane. This man, I don't, is not giving Christian at all. It's not. I'm sorry. It's just not. Not. I know some people, but this is. I don't know. I know some Christians are in different season and stuff. I understand, but that right there was just beyond me. Just by just, it's just everything about him was my discernment. My discernment was really taking me somewhere. Like, is this guy for real? Is he really a Christian? I mean, just watching this gives me everything I need to know. I don't even have to watch the whole debate. Obviously, there's people you just shouldn't deal with. People like him, you shouldn't deal with. And honestly, y'all, we shouldn't even be worried or be like, "Oh my, like the the Christians are beefing." Because is he really a Christian? And all to all my fellow Christian brothers that are brothers and sisters who are Eastern Orthodox, I want y'all to think about, would y'all side with this type of person? Would y'all? Will you really side with that type of person? Will you want to? You can still be Eastern Orthodox, but would you support someone like that? I wouldn't. I wouldn't at all. I'm just saying. So with that being said, man, make sure y'all hit the subscription button. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy watching things from a Christian lens. This is what we do. We react. We do testimonies. We teach. We read. We do it all. Until then, I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out.